Warning, the following broadcast. Warning, the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 236 of the Coach's Box. I can't believe they let us be on the air for 236 episodes. Hey, and you will notice once Chris brings everyone in that there's one certain person not here, as usual. As usual. Oh, look, I bet everyone guessed anyway. But these guys, some of them are already out of school. Unlike me and Chris, we got to work till Friday. These other two goons, they are done.
They don't value education enough.
Yes, they don't. We at Dunklin R5 try to educate as many days possible, as many as we have to make sure that our students are meeting the standards that we set forth at Dunklin R5. And we're dedicated.
Kevin,
Fox C6 is the same way.
I just think that we work at places that are so efficient that we're just able to get it done sooner.
God,
Aren't hey,
here right
hold
now.
on. Oh, well, you two work at places that are so efficient. Okay, well, there's nothing I want to comment. I almost said something, but I'm going to just keep it to myself. You never know. I might need a job somewhere.
It's been a good couple of weeks since my class ended when all the seniors left the building.
Guys, just make sure your Legos are put up.
The Legos up. The Legos.
I did that the week before, knowing full well they weren't coming in later. Hey, take a week, get your Lego boxes organized nicely.
Hey, everybody, make sure you log out of Disney and everything and your Netflix off your computer.
No, that's now blocked. We call that the Miller Rule.
It's blocked.
The Miller Rule, man.
There's plenty of stuff I'm sure there because of Chris Miller that aren't allowed. So
I was going to say he's up there at Fox C6 teaching math like a champion.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just a bunch of rules. Only Chris will get this one. It's just a bunch of rules that Cuba and I have that we refer to as the Miller Rules.
The Miller Rules. They had the Jordan rules. Now they've got the Miller rules.
That's fair.
Yes.
Hey, someday,
right there.
Dunklin probably already has some Jarvis rules, but anyway.
Kevin, what's your summer break? How you doing, man? You look spry. You look a little rested. How you doing?
Yeah, I got a great nap in this afternoon.
There you go.
We're
you guys get all kick rocks.
Yeah, we're still playing soccer. So I had practice today. We got finished district this week.
Oh, poor thing.
I made a very great decision on my end. I moved my softball camp from the first week of summer to the last week of July this year. Now it's like I don't go.
Well played.
Several years I went from soccer being in the Final Four and then having softball the very next Monday after that happened, and it made my summer go really long. But having it that last week in July, I'm able to have my camp, the dead period, and then we start practice.
Yeah.
Hey,
so decided to do that this year.
You two can sit there and brag about how school's out, blah, blah, blah. But I can tell you guys right now that Coach Jarvis's summer is wide open. It is open.
Into the great wide
I
open.
I have no idea what I'm doing this summer. Other than I'm going to Texas for vacation, and other than that,
There you go.
I don't know what I'm going to do with all this time. Like, I might actually do research before our show because I'm going to have so much time on my hands.
No, you're not.
Don't lie. Don't
Absolutely
lie.
not.
No.
That's
we
not
don't
a good
buy
look.
into these.
Want it
No.
put down. I have been on time for 3 weeks in a row, and it's been
Boy.
and it's been 18 weeks that we have not seen Jim. So
Listen, I'm not going to
since-
congratulate you for doing something you're supposed to do.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Hey,
you. That's
why?
exactly what I was thinking.
Because my employer here at the Coach's Box said I had to be on time.
Nobody's paying you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you're getting paid?
No.
You mean
Oh.
by employer, you mean volunteer coordinator.
Yeah,
There you go.
voluntold.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
you should open it up with, hey, this is going to be, since it's finals week, we got a multiple choice question for you. Which one of us is not here again?
Oh man.
You gotta answer true, false. You gotta give
We
true,
know.
false.
Yes.
Hey, Billy Bob,
Powers.
is
B,
Jim Powers here?
Shooty.
No, he's concussed. He's concussed.
You have more of a chance of Matt Shooty being on.
I saw Matt Shooty on Sunday. He's doing really well. He was at our graduation ceremony. So
Oh, that's cool.
Great guy. He's a great guy.
That's good.
Good
I don't say that about many.
Well,
none of us.
Well, I was going to say, none of the guys that are on the show right now. That's
No,
no,
you guys
here,
are
no one
three-
not here.
You are three upstanding individuals right here on this show.
I can
He-
smell
I
the
bring-
for
sarcasm.
a job.
I bring the show down a little bit. It's okay.
I smell the sarcasm.
There was
No,
no
he's
sarcasm
He's
at all.
still padding his stats for when he needs a job.
Well, I mean, I would. I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe God's saying, Jason, take a break. I don't know. We'll see.
Yep.
Yep.
Never know.
It's the Lord's
I mean,
plan.
what do you-
Yeah.
So, Chris, when
As Coach
you're
K would
done
say.
with school at some point,
Yeah,
what
Friday.
are you going to do this summer?
Well, Kevin, unfortunately, I think I took a page out of your book because as soon as we get done and Memorial Day finishes, I found the 1 week when there's no freaking sports going on. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have my basketball team camp this week. So that way we can get ready and start playing games this summer. We didn't play games last summer. We basically had to talk about this is a basketball and this is how you dribble it and this is how you pass it. And then let's attempt to shoot. And I'm glad we did that because we spent a lot of time doing that. We probably should have spent a lot more time doing that too. But this summer, we understand those basics, and now we're going to be like, okay, now let's play against other people. So we're doing a team camp right off the bat that first week, and then we have games on that the following Saturday at Principia. So we're already jumping right back into it, which I'm kind of happy about because we've done like open gyms 2 nights a week. It's probably, I don't know, for last
I want
month
to
or
start
so.
keeping track of all this time that you're doing.
What are you gonna do? You
All
gotta,
these contact days.
All these contact days.
it's called those are called like off-season practices, and if you only
Oh.
go 3 hours, no more than an hour and a half a day.
Oh, I was
You
going
know.
to say, you can't go 3 hours at a time, sir.
No,
It's an hour and a
can't.
half.
I'm very much aware of the rules. I worked at St. Pius, so I know how the rules are. Sorry,
You
that was
sure
just too
know-
easy. That was
and
low
you
hanging
sure-
fruit. It was
You
easy.
sure know how to bend them if you were there. So I mean,
Kevin, Zach,
Hey.
did I bend any rules at St. Pius when it came to?
Not athletic
Oh.
ones, no.
Not a-
Oh,
there
there
you
we
said
go.
it, Kevin. You said it. You said it. Not athletic.
There's a reason why there's the Miller rules.
Yeah.
But that's
almost like the Jordan rules, huh?
It-
Hey,
it has-
there's
had
there's
nothing
a
to
reason
do-
why they had to put a wall up in his office.
But what the funny part is like you can ask them. It's like, oh, we're getting a kid in the shadow today. Let's see. Oh, it's a boy. Okay, great. What does he do? Band.
Man.
Hey, listen,
Band.
every time there's a shadow, I'm like, is like volleyball. Can I get anybody who can pitch? please. Anybody?
Anybody. Just
Does she
anybody.
have a sister? Doesn't have to be very athletic, but can they throw the ball over the plate? So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking when basketball. So no, Jason, I didn't break any rules at St. Pius. I just knew them because everybody was always on you about like, are they breaking rules? Like you did for many years. Talk about recruiting and stuff like that. Which again, you can ask these guys. There wasn't any recruiting done by me.
If you were recruiting, you were the worst recruiter on planet Earth. That's all
on
I'm
planet
gonna tell you.
Earth. Yeah, that's for damn sure. So, but no, we're getting right back into it. I think we had our athletic banquet on Monday, our basketball banquet, excuse me, on Monday. So that was good. It kind of felt like it maybe re-energized the kids for next week, and
I was waiting for Doug. You got to put that up there. Yes, I was waiting for him.
Always only football and wrestling.
This was pre-Doug.
This is
Wait, this is pre-Doug. This is back when kids wanted to be in band, Doug. You walked into that.
Doug.
You walked into that, man.
Yep.
Hey, Doug.
Oh,
Doug, I will never knock you. You gave me free work, free hours over there at Dunklin R5 when I couldn't get any of them to do it for me. So I was proud. I was always looking Doug.
I think Doug would know that if I wasn't giving him a hard time that there's something wrong.
Right.
So
right.
No, Doug was
true.
great. It was fun. That's one thing I do miss. I do miss the lunch conversations. And Doug's taking a new job.
Yeah.
He's leaving St. Pius. So congratulations to you, Doug. I can't remember exactly what place it was that you were going to. Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Wow,
See,
nice.
moving up.
Yep.
There you
We just
go.
had to hire a new. We just had to hire a new band director.
Yes, Smelser had a great
30
article.
What, 2 years, 33, something like that. Yep.
Wow.
Good
How
for
about
him.
Yep.
Retire.
Yep.
Retire.
Yep. Well, hey, Kevin, the new band director that you guys are getting was my senior year band director out of Crystal City. So you're getting a good one. Yep.
Did you play an instrument, Zach?
I did. I played the drums. Yep.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Can you play any other instrument?
Drums.
You do not look like a drum player. You typically look like a tuba player. You just look like a tuba player.
It must be the glasses.
Sousaphone.
Sousaphone. I don't even know what that is. No.
Bass clarinet.
I was thinking more the size than the glasses.
Yeah, there you go. It was something like that. Yeah. Nope, drums.
I'll check with her when she comes to school next time to see what kind of a band student you were.
All right.
That would be great.
Her typical response might be, "Who the hell is that guy?"
Probably.
I don't remember him.
No, you guys,
go ahead, Zach.
I'll just say
you're running the show, bud.
You're getting now. Okay, now after 5 years of doing this, however long.
Oh my gosh. I don't even want to talk about it right now.
So now
so many things I could say.
All right, because we are talking summer. So I know you guys aren't quite yet to your break.
Okay, yeah, we already established that. Thanks.
But what does it do for you guys as coaches when we sit here and say, all right, we end this chapter of this school year, we kind of go into summertime. What are your thought process going into the summer with obviously new season, new roster? Maybe you have turnover here, there, and whatever. But what are your overall thoughts as coaches when you go into the off season?
Go ahead.
You better let Chris or Kevin speak.
No, go ahead, because I'll be honest with you. All of a sudden, like I didn't hear the last part of that. So there we go.
Well, it's going to be different for me. Softball wise, that's where I'll kind of speak mostly to. I'm losing 6 seniors, 5 of which that started for 4 years. And the other one started for 3 years. So I've got to sort out a bunch of really tough positions where they're going to go. And softball's a little different. I've got a bunch of kids who play in the summer, but we're really going to hinge on whether some kids can step up and pitch for us. And I got to find out if they can do that. So it is definitely a different book, not even a different chapter. It's going to be a different book for us. for next year. But I'm kind of excited to see what our kids do and what this looks like in this whole other thing. But we've got a bunch of open cages and open fields throughout the summer before we get to camp. So we should have a really good idea what that looks like before camp starts. So that's where I'm going with this. We've lost a lot of great kids. I got to find out who's stepping up in their place next year and moving forward.
Well, and we all can ask, and I know we've talked about this. Is that your philosophy? What would be your philosophy over summer? I know, Chris, you just talked kind of jokingly about what you had to do last year, and as you stay or as you go year to year, if you build on it, depending on the roster that you have coming back, what do you guys like to look for in the summertime? Because I know for me, when being a head coach, I didn't necessarily care about winning and losing. I wanted to get the kids out, play some games. I wanted to see, okay, who can I put in different situations and just kind of see how they can respond in a somewhat not pressure-packed environment. Just because, I mean, again, hey, congratulations, we won a summer game. Like, who really cares? But it's an opportunity for you to showcase maybe what you've been working on, or hey, you're that sophomore, now you jumped up to a junior. Now you're going from that JV role to a varsity role. Let's see what you can do, and let's see if you can perform a little bit with just a little bit of pressure.
Oh, well, I'm going to jump in on this because I don't believe that. I think that having a successful summer and winning some games is helpful depending on the age of your group and the experience of your group. We didn't win a game last summer, and it showed when we came to the start of the year. I mean, I knew it was going to be rough. I knew we were going to struggle to handle the basketball. I thought we got better as the season went on. But summer, you try to put kids in situations to see who you have and what you have. Hey, team's pressing me. Hey, I'm going to get Duncan out and see what everyone else does without him on the floor, or something like that. That's something I tried to do a little bit last year. This year, I'm going to hopefully find a spot sometime soon, and then I'll know what I'm doing this summer. But we'll see from there. But a lot of times in the summer, I don't know. If I would have stayed on at Hergy, I don't know that I would have played as many games this year as I had in the past. I think I would have had more stuff at school during the day with more kids there. Because I've had some, got a lot of kids playing multiple sports when you're at a small school. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to get them all there in the evenings, I found. And I was going to kind of switch it up. But and I think Logan, who's taken over my spot, I think he's kind of doing that too. He's doing some stuff during the day, so he has more kids there. But some people want to play as many games as they can. Others want to get practicing on skills. Like Chris said last year, it's probably better he didn't play a bunch of games because he needed to practice the skills. I mean, each year could be a different thing.
I liked the idea of trying to go outside of our little pond. There were some years that we went down to SEMO for their overnight camp, kind of like a Friday, Saturday, where you got several games. I wanted to go someplace where we were going to see teams that either were not in our state, definitely not in the area, just so whether it's the kids, whether it's maybe family, whoever, and you could say, look, you might be good in this little area, but there is an entire different universe when it comes to, player ability, this, that, and the other. And you need to see that. And you need to see like, oh, okay, maybe we are really good. Maybe we aren't as good as we thought we are. But at least if nothing else, it's maybe a wake-up call to say, I either need to put more time in, or maybe this isn't for me. I don't know. But it's at least gives you an opportunity to say, hey, there is life beyond this, small conference, this small area.
Well, I mean, it when you set up your summer schedule, it kind of depends on where your program is, where your teams are. Zach knows and Kevin knows how much I really like playing teams that are better than us, and how that can affect your overall record. The good news about summer is nobody cares unless you're one of those people who walk into seed meetings and talk about what your summer record was.
Right.
And I swear to Jeff, that's actually happened. where I'm like, you said what? I don't give a damn what you were in the summer. And this was a Christmas tournament, by the way. So the point is you don't want to play teams in the summer that are necessarily just going to absolutely murder your team if you don't feel like it's going to do your kids any good. You want to play a balanced schedule. You want to play games that might challenge your kids. And I think Jason's right. I think you got to put them in situations that they might not be comfortable in, so that way you can use them as teaching moments. And when those games don't count, plus you want there to be some aspects of success that you can gain from it. If you're going to go and play Memphis White Station, then you better have a team that's going to be semi-competitive, at least to a degree. You can get the ball up the court. If you're going to go play a team that's going to be able to press you and you're never going to get the ball across half court, what did you prove? You proved that everybody that you played a game of people who were way more athletic than you, and you can't break a press, and you don't have a press breaker or a point guard. Congratulations. So what does that help you with? It doesn't really help you with anything. So you want to have the opportunity to play those games where you're going to be able to work on certain things, see talent outside of your pool, as Zach said, and to give them that kind of experience. So there is a balance there that has to happen. It's not just about loading them up and saying, all right, go get your butts kicked, or let's go play the school of the blind and beat them.
That's the one good thing I liked about when Paul Hamilton had his league down at Kingston, which, I mean, Paul Hamilton's not even going to be coaching basketball next year is what I'm hearing. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, he had that league down at Kingston, and then I would get in that league and Hillsboro because I wanted to have success. And down at Kingston, we were pretty competitive, if not winning a lot of games. And then we went to Hillsboro, and it was a little stiffer competition, a little tougher. And I liked it when we could play in both. When we could only play in one, like last summer, that was pretty rough for us over at Hillsboro. A lot of inexperienced kids out there I had. And I played them all season. So, it just depends on your team, depends on the summer, depends on the participation you're going to get.
Kevin, I mean, you're kind of in a unique situation because you're doing softball and soccer, and both of those are like heavily select. I mean, we'll just say AAU just to abbreviate it. What's that like for you, knowing that you're going to have probably, I would assume, several of your athletes coming into the season with 30, 40, maybe more summer games for softball, but also, talk about it on the spring side for you with soccer as well. Like you're in a different unique situation than we have been.
I always use summer as a way to just get my kids acclimated to each other in the way that team was kind of going to be built. So we just wanted to be around each other more often. Playing games was never a big deal to me in the summer. It's hard to get games because I've got, I'll have a bunch of kids that are already playing 5 games on the weekend and then 2 league games one night a week with their select team. And a lot of those kids, if they're pitching, they're doing that. So I don't want to throw them in those other games. And softball wise, it's if you don't have pitching, you're in trouble, and it's not a very good game to begin with anyway. So we always did open fields, we did open cages, and it was mainly just to get the kids together and for the kids that don't play any select softball to get some skills work in, get some time in the cage, see some live pitching, even if it's from me or a machine, because the other ones are seeing all those things all summer. I don't need them to be working that hard. I just want them around all the kids so they can just get used to being around each other. So yeah, it's very different. Soccer is tough in the sense because right when you get done with your high school season, they go straight to their club teams for state cup, especially for the girls, which is in June and early July. So that's tough, but because it's a long, grueling high school season as it is for them, and then they got to go straight into their club season. But then they get a lot of time off before that starts back up in the spring. But softball wise, it was just more about I really didn't care much about playing games. Those kids are playing enough. I just wanted them to be around each other and build some build some community with each other and just see if let that carry into our fall season.
Yeah, I like it.
Nothing to add over there, Chris? Or you
Fly ball
caught?
Yeah.
I mean, is there any? I know
Hey, it's
they
not that simple with some of those kids in the summer. Fly ball. Hope they catch it.
Don't hurt yourself. Don't
Good
hurt
God.
yourself.
Listen, playing first base is easy. Tell them Wash.
It's incredibly difficult.
Incredibly. Are there any? So I know we have the new rule changes about practice. Let's just call it practice, not open gyms anymore. The handful of weeks out before your season starts. Is there anything? And I know we over the years now. Is there anything that you guys would like to see changed for this break? I mean, this summertime, because I know they have the dead week period. I know that is there anything that would just say, look, this helps the school, this helps the athletic programs, this helps the kids and the families? What do you think?
I'll go last.
Okay.
There's always been a small part of me that would love to see a mandated extended dead period in the summer, but I know that doesn't fit for everybody and what we need to do. But it would, at some point, I would love to see the summers go back. And this is coming from someone who's strictly in a small school where your kids might be playing 3 or 4 sports, and every one of those coach wants a little piece of that kid all summer, and trying to figure that out is tough. That's partially why I never made a lot of my summers kind of high intensity in those situations. They'll get all of that stuff with some of the other sports that they do, but man, I know some other states have like a mandated 2-week or 3-week dead period where every school's off and nothing goes on. I think there's one of the states, I can't remember which one it was. At least they did in the early 2010s, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. I know some don't like that, but I wouldn't mind seeing it if somebody were to do something like that.
Jarvis, what do you think? Anything?
Well, you see, Ron Rhodes put up there back in the 80s. No one else played in the 80s, Ron. So no, you didn't have to. Your kids didn't have to play.
Did AAU exist in the 80s? I don't know, or at least around here.
No.
Okay.
No. So as much as the gym was open at DeSoto, I'm sure you had 180 contact days or whatever. So
go ahead, Jarvis. Let's get to your point.
You know, I wish the summer they would just, I mean, what, 20 days? This is so stupid. Just what, and it's hard for basketball. And this has been a constant fight since I've been a basketball coach, whether I was the head coach or not. Well, your sport's not until November. What do you need the kids for in the summer? You get the big bad football coach. Well, you don't need those kids. What do you need those kids for? You know, we have an off season too. It's the same time as yours. Mm-hmm. We need, them to get some work in the summer. They can't just show up in October and expect to win games. So at a small school, it's a constant battle with other sports to me. And if you don't have a department that works together, that meets together and says, hey, this week is basketball's week, you can't touch the kids, or, they need to be free from this time to this time so they can be at basketball. When you're working in a district and you don't have that, it's hard. It's hard to get things going.
Agree.
And that's one thing that frustrates a lot of basketball coaches. And, I'm not saying that Dunklin was like that I'm just saying in my experiences, and I've been a basketball coach for quite some time, 20-something years. So I've just seen a lot of, fighting with other. I mean, if you're a girls coach, you're always fighting volleyball because they play in that year round. Mm-hmm. So you got to have a good rapport, a good group of coaches that'll work together and hopefully, give you time that you get your 20 days.
Yeah. I think contact days are stupid. And it's not because I want to have basketball every single day in the summer. Yes, it would be cool to be able to have basketball every single day of the summer and not have to worry about contact days. I think there should be an extended dead period in the summer. I wouldn't have a problem with there being, let's say, maybe a few days after school ends to probably before school starts, and having that mandatory dead period, or before August, whenever, maybe make it 15 days. I don't know. Give the kids enough time to go and take enough vacation time, see family, etc.
Are you going to touch a football for 15 days?
So here's what I do think. I think, number one, the rules are stupid because you can be out in the heat, the blazing heat, up until your dead week starts, and then you have to do the heat acclimation again after you come back from
Well,
the
you
10
can be
days
in
off.
full pads.
I know you can do full pads, and then you have
go
to do
back
the whole
wearing a
workup,
helmet. It's the
which makes
stupidest
no
thing
sense.
ever.
That's
No.
why I think that's stupid. Number one. Two, I don't want contact days to be limited. I think that's something that should be done on a local level. I think if your school allows your coaches to have your kids do as many contact days as they want, and they get to regulate how many or whatever, I think it should be local. I don't think Michigan should have their nose in it at all, because in every community it's going to be different. You can't say that this works out better for us than it does somebody else. At Fox, we've got an enormous number of sports. At South Iron, where I grew up, there's literally like 3 boys sports. So you get 25 contact days with the group of kids that you basically have to share, and that's it. What are they doing those other days? I want to be able to have kids in the gym, on the field, wherever they are, in front of their coaches all the time if they don't have on, because if I'm not mistaken, the good book says idle hands are a tool of the devil, and I'm going to guarantee that whenever they pick up their phone and they start doing stuff, they're going to get in any kind of trouble that they can, because they're kids. And if they don't have parental supervision around, why can't I be that person who can say, hey, the gym's open, come on up, bud. You need somewhere to go? Here, I got you. Why can't we do that as coaches? Oh, because, we're taking advantage, making the kids do stuff. No. They have that opportunity. They have the opportunity to get in the gym. I can't make them come to open to our 20 days of contact in the summer and use it against them as a mandatory thing for cuts or playing time or anything. That's definitely going to play in my head and every other coach in America that has these rules. But why do we have to have that? To me, it makes no sense. I think it's a local thing that needs to be taken care of. And if someone's abusing it and the school or the athletic director deems it as a problem, then they address it. This isn't a Misha thing. This is a school district thing, because we're all different. Instead, we all have the same rule, and we all have different levels of how it affects us because of how many sports we have, how many kids we have, and coaches and everything else. It makes no sense. It's like that picture of the standardized testing, and you got all the animals, and it's like everybody has to be able to climb the tree, and you got an elephant, a monkey, a goldfish. No, that's trying to make all this work for everybody and their different issues that they have to deal with. Some people have the ability to spend, go on these elaborate vacations because their families are well off, and some kids their families don't have a pot to piss in. So why do we have to say that they can't have that opportunity to come and do this, and we can help make them better people? Because that's what we want. We want them to be better athletes, but we want them to be around good people. And I'm assuming that if we are hired as coaches, we're probably good people, good role models for these kids to be around. So I think it's stupid. If that's the one thing we could say I wish would go away, I wish contact day rules would go away. I've said it before. I will say it every single time. I was
going to say that too, but
I don't care. I will say it every single time because I think it's stupid. I think it's absolutely stupid.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now, to piggyback off of what you and Jarvis have said, and we're getting somewhat close to a break, whatever grading scale that you want to use, whether it's 1 to 10 percentages, whatever, how much of the summertime, and we'll use the contact days, okay, because we're allowed so many contact days for your specific sport and your contact days in the summer. How much does it affect your regular season, and are you getting better by having those contact days? Again, you want to say 10%? You want to do a grading scale or sliding scale or 1 to 10? How important is it to have those days, and how much are you getting better, actually getting better for your season? What do you think?
So like a percentage, 1 to 100, you want to
however you want to.
You said 1 to 10.
Yeah, whatever you want to.
Or 1 to 10, there's
whatever.
no percentage.
Yeah, whatever, however you want to define it.
I mean, I guess you could say 8 would be 80, but I mean,
Okay.
whatever. I don't know. You put a percentage on it. What do you think, Chris? I don't know.
I mean, in basketball, if you're not shooting like all summer, all fall, into the season, you can't shoot.
The contact days. So the
contact days?
The actual contact days.
Well, okay, then take them away and see what happens.
So
kids don't go out and play on their own anymore. Number one, they're not intrinsically motivated to do it unless they're the top tier kids, or they don't. That's like their way to get out of whatever living situation that they're in. Okay. Because again, they have a phone, they've got things that they can do to get in trouble. That's why offering these opportunities to come in the gym are important. But so for me, I'm going to say that, whatever we do, that's my job as a coach, to maximize the amount of time that I have with them. So
Ron Rhodes says 0%.
Sorry, I
I don't agree with that.
I think if I use my contact days the way I should, and I can I can break some bad habits, I can develop some new habits, I can have get that relationship with new kids that I haven't coached because they're coming up from the JV, or a new kid who's a freshman. That's all important. I'd say 85 to 90%. I think it's that important. And if it's not helping me as a coach, then I'm not doing my job as a coach to make it helpful in a meaningful way.
I'll go back to the group I had with Dylan and them. That group of kids are their sophomore summer was a big summer for them going into the junior year. So going into their junior year, so after their sophomore year, we won a crap ton of games that summer, which gave us a lot of confidence going into the season. And it carried on. That confidence we had in the summer, we had a little bit of swagger. We had a little bit of a, we're better than you kind of attitude. And it carried. I mean, we started out of the gate, both their junior and senior year, on fire. And I think a lot of that had to do with our contact days, getting out there, playing down at Kingston, competing well out at Hillsboro those 2 years, because we competed really well. And it helped. It helped a lot. And I think you can just build a lot of confidence in the summer. I'm not saying it just has to be the games, just getting in and shooting. I mean, that group, they were always wanting me to open the gym. Even the group that I have right now that I would have had if I was still coaching, there's a lot of kids in that group that want in the gym all the time. And I just think the summer's important. I don't think it's 90%, but I think it's important. I'm saying, because I've had some summers where I didn't have much participation, and then my season was about what I expected it to be. So 90, I think, is a little high. I'm talking maybe 60. I don't know. I think it's important. Go ahead.
Softball's going to be less than what basketball is in my sense. It's my summer stuff, my contact days is more for those 7, 8, 9 kids like in my lineup, or 6, 7, 8, 9 kids, trying to get them reps that they don't get in games during the summer because they're not playing in games. So I'm trying to get them in the cage and let them see some pitching from in front and see those types of things, and they're going to get better because of it. But it's not geared towards the top 5, 6 kids who are already playing a bunch of ball in the summer. They don't need those. They don't need that. They like the extra reps. Some of them came to it all the time to get the extra swings in, but it didn't make or break their fall season. But it really helped my other kids get better, which in turn made us a better team. So I'd say probably 40%, 35, 40% maybe for us. But but it was more geared for the bottom, the other half of my lineup that doesn't play any select ball.
I'm jumping on Ron Rhodes' thing there. He said, if you have 5 great players move in, you're going to play the 5 move-ins that never came to an open gym. Well, Ron Rhodes, not everybody has the mailboxes or apartments that you and Al Davis had. So not every school has 5 move-ins or the best player from Festus, Crystal, Herky to move to DeSoto. We never had those experiences as a head coach. I've never had any move-ins per se, except my son transferring from Festus over, and I guess Deering was a Festus kid. Moreland, he was Festus Herky, but 5. No, that only happened.
Well,
we've never had that, and then you name 3 people right off the bat.
I'm saying I never had that like
one team,
like 5. That was all different. That was different groups.
Oh,
so,
okay. All right.
So here's the thing: the summer is not necessarily for your best players in basketball. They're going to be playing AAU more than likely.
Yes,
it's to develop your depth. It's the same reason why you want a middle school program. It's the same reason why I'm trying to start a middle school program at Fox, because we need to develop our depth. I need role players. I need kids who can come off the bench and do things that guys who play more basketball than others cannot. My football kids that play multiple sports, well, they're great athletes, but they can't make layups. Well, you know what? This is a good time to maybe work on some of those moves. They have tools to use, but we need to do some refining somewhere. And I don't have time to do that in practice and have a 5-hour practice come. Yeah. I mean, it's just, you don't. And I mean, again, maybe back in the day, yeah, I was the same way. I'm like, okay, we're going to do some summer stuff. We're going to have a good summer. We're going to get some shots up. We're going to be around each other. It's great. I'm under the belief now that if we aren't doing stuff in the summer, especially with kids in basketball, we're not going to get anything done, because, again, your top kids, they're going to play, they're going to be doing stuff. It's the other kids, because they don't go and do things on their own anymore. If we're not adapting to this simple fact, and everybody here is not, none of you guys are going to argue with me, because when I drive by these playgrounds that used to have kids playing all the time and just kids waiting to play, they ain't nobody doing a damn thing, and it's nice outside. So what do you tell me?
Every time me and Weston go to Crystal Park, I'm depressed. Like, dude.
So
I'll be like, back in the day, that place was packed.
You can't go down to the firehouse.
You were standing there waiting the firehouse in DeSoto. I went out there a couple times, and that was some good games. But you may wait an hour to get on the gosh damn court.
Yeah. So what are you doing? The kids aren't going to go and play unless it's climate controlled and no. Okay. So that's why I want them in the gym. Okay. 1,000%. If I have that opportunity for them, they don't have an excuse. Well, it's hot outside. No, it's not, buddy. Come on in. We got the AC on.
I mean, Tanner Duncan's a perfect example. I know you're going to probably remember this, Chris. You guys had a shootout, and I brought Tanner over there as an 8th grader.
Yep, broke all the rules. It's okay.
No, you can play. You can play it. You can play in the summer. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
If you're 7'12", yes.
They aren't 7'12".
Oh, yeah, we were at the time. Well, he was going to be a freshman, maybe. No, maybe.
No,
he was 8th grader.
He's full on an 8th grader.
Hey, keep trying to turn that car on that path somewhere.
Hey, it don't matter. Yeah, I don't care. Anyway,
I don't care either. And that's why it's like, I don't care if he comes and plays or not. But
he came over and lit it up as an 8th grader. I mean, you got to have those kids doing stuff in the summer. I agree with Chris. You build a lot of depth, getting those younger kids playing time in the summer.
That's what you have to do, man. Mm-hmm. Kevin, why don't you send us out to commercial break, man? We went over big time.
We went way over. That's fine. Good topic. Good talk. We'll be back here shortly with segment 2. We don't know what it is yet. We'll figure it out before we get there.
What do you mean? Zach did some research.
Yeah. Well, then Jarvis picks what we do in the second segment. So until then, let's pay some bills. We'll be right back.
I'm the guy sitting next to your girl on the kiss cam.
And this game just got a lot more interesting.
Sheila? Mom?
Fire!
And if you don't have the right home coverage, you might have to kiss your savings goodbye. Let's go, beat it. So get Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Bro!
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Cut. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings, and this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Health Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Come on, Zach.
I said I was only doing the first segment. Here we go.
You didn't do the first segment,
dummy. I know. You did.
What
Anyway.
a dumb.
Welcome back to the Coach's Box
you,
Call. Like we
Chris.
see in podcasts, as you can see, we are so prepared.
Organized.
Why
We are
do we even want to
organized.
tell our kids, to be prepared and to plan and to study when we struggle with this ourselves? And I don't know if it's just, I don't know. I don't know.
You
what
even
our
said the
problem
topic on there.
But
You are such a schmo.
is. Thanks for that, Grandpa. We'll put that one in the word bank to use. If you like our show, you can go back and watch us on YouTube and on X. Probably not too long. Facebook and Meta, they're just going to delete videos. So we're just going to stream to Facebook, and then our videos go away after 30 days because they suck. And you can catch all of our shows on YouTube and for now on X until Elon says, you know what, I'm going to delete them too. So go back and watch them. We appreciate everybody tuning in to this absolute dumpster fire of a podcast that we enjoy doing, even though at times it's frustrating and we laugh at each other on purpose and at each other's faces.
Yep.
So our next topic of conversation, Zach.
Yeah.
Since, Jarvis didn't pick it, you did.
I guess that's a you talk about laughing at each other's faces. I mean, I guess we can kind of segue into the WNBA and start looking at the I don't know. We were trying to come up with synonyms for fight. What did we say?
Synonym?
We said scuffle. So one of us said, what did you say?
We had brouhaha. We had kerfuffle.
You know.
And, first off, Zach, got a question.
Yeah.
How many people watching this show know what a damn synonym is?
You're the.
I mean, come
cinnamon
on.
toast crunch.
Yeah.
I like the cinnamon. I like cinnamon.
I love cinnamon. I love it.
Isn't that what Jarvis likes in his Fireball there? Cinnamon.
That's what
Fireball.
How'd
you know?
I
don't drink Fireball. That stuff's rough.
Back in the 90s, back when you were younger, maybe.
No,
I didn't know Fireball was around one of the 90s. I don't think it was.
Synonyms
that means
synonyms
same.
are in that book about dinosaurs, right?
right. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, yes.
The Saurus Rex.
The Saurus Rex,
yeah. I think I come up with kerfluffle. What else did we come up with?
You said
I'll tell you what, I do like a lot. You guys in your cinnamons, but I do like a lot of the memes that have come out of this whole thing.
I haven't seen them yet.
Fisticuffs, that's a good one. I think somebody said that.
Fisticuffs, there's a good one.
There
Yes.
you go. So anyway, as the story goes, so in the WNBA, you've got no longer rookies, but I guess in year 2, to me, guys, this is almost like the Rocky series, right? Because I mean, it goes on, in college, and now it's gone now into the pros, and so you have Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, round 5, I guess, if you want to call it that.
One of the best things I saw, Zach. Well, one of the best things I saw about. Go ahead.
I was going to say the problem with your analogy of the Rocky movies is that
it was good.
There's always something to like somewhere with all of the ones that go against Rocky. There's nothing to like about Angel Reese at the moment.
I was gonna say I love the comments that have been going on that this would be a bigger story if Angel Reese was any good at basketball.
Well,
I mean,
it's true.
I really think her complex with Caitlin Clark is that Caitlin Clark is that good, and she's getting all this publicity, and she sucks. She can't make a layup. That's the only reason why she has so many rebounds. She rebounds her own gosh-damn shot 3 or 4 times. She can't handle. She can't shoot the 3. She don't play that much defense. What? Shut up. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA.
I don't know what Caitlin Clark did, but she is living absolutely rent-free in that penthouse of an apartment in Angel Reese's head.
Dude, and that
one is too expensive for her salary.
$70,000 salary,
and that foul
it's
by
not going to be that much of a penthouse, but it's still way at the top.
And that foul by Caitlin Clark, I don't blame her. She had shoved her teammate right in the back.
Did,
right before that, and Caitlin Clark's like, I am, and then that girl got in between. Was like, no, you ain't going after
technical. She got a technical, which means she's getting fined. That's the Boston. I think I can't remember the first name.
Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah. So the team.
But did you hear Caitlin Clark in the?
I got you.
I'm paying half of it.
She goes, I got it.
Nike's got you. Nike's got you.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
Why do you think the Fever went and signed Sophie Cunningham as kind of we're not going to let anybody screw with Caitlin here? I'm waiting for the fight with Cunningham.
Well, I think they may have signed Sophie Cunningham because a lot of people that just brings even more people to the Fever to watch.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm a big Fever fan right now for a lot of reasons.
Buddy.
And when Sophie Cunningham, who's injured, walked through the tunnel, and they had that video, and they had her picture of how she came to the game. I'm like, that's how you're supposed to dress. I don't know if it's dressed to go to a game or not, but I'm a fan, and that's awesome right there. That's the pride of Hickman High School right there. Love it. Way to represent. Right? Way to represent. Yeah, that's great. And she's not played yet, so yeah. The one I said I don't know if I think I said it to you guys that video where she's sitting on the bench. It's about her used bath water. Someone did. Her used bath water must taste like lemonade. She's so fine. I'm like, I laughed for I don't know how long. And I was like, that's awesome. But Cunningham was signed to be kind of like an enforcer a little bit, and she can play too, mind you. But yeah, I can't wait for that. Angel Reese is hot garbage, and I don't understand. Listen, she won the national championship, so she beat her there. At the end of the day, it's like, okay, I got mine, I got yours, but she just wants this attention that she isn't going to get because
she thinks she's sexy red of the WNBA.
She's not anywhere near as good as Clark is. Sorry. It's just not a thing.
Well,
no.
I'm sorry, but it's not a thing with anyone in the WNBA. Did you see one of Clark's first shots of the freaking night? My gosh. She's good. Yeah. She's the only reason why I watch that crap.
We should put it like this. I think they showed how much revenue was in the WNBA between 2008 and up to the year before last, and then how much since, and they've made more money in the last year and 2 games since Clark's been in the WNBA than they did from 2008 to 2023. How many years is that? Is my math
15
yeah. So let me get this straight. The money that you made as a league in 15 years. And I'm not saying there's bad basketball in the WNBA, but the amount of money that you made, there's no correlation between Caitlin Clark. So all these other, we said this before, like these jealous women who are playing with Clark are complaining. Why? I wouldn't complain if it was my teammate I'm on the sky and I see Reese about to hit her. I'm tackling her just to keep. No, that's my paycheck. And for whatever reason, I don't want to. It seems like in other sports, you think about those things. You know, you listen like Unsportsmanlike, and you hear Chris Candy talk about like, don't mess with my paycheck, and that was a thing. But it seems like in this league, they're having a hard time understanding when you do stupid stuff like that, like all the tackling of Clark and stuff, the hard fouls. I get it. You know, you're a rookie, but there's also this thing like, don't mess with the paycheck. And every time they do stupid stuff or Reese wants to sucker punch her in the back of the head, you're messing with the paycheck.
Well, and the problem was people like Dana Taurasi and some of these older ones that were in the
Dana. You mean Diana's sister, Dana, or Diana?
Whatever. Taurasi, whatever the hell her name is. That's how insignificant the WNBA was until now. So, what I'm saying is Taurasi and all these people are going to treat her like crap and just like diss her. Like, shut up. She's putting women's basketball on the map. Like, people actually care. People are actually watching. Dude, there is away games. They had to move the games to different arenas because she's coming and they got to have enough seating. I mean, she is she's like the Jordan of the WNBA. I mean,
she's the show.
Yeah.
She's the show. Kevin, you got thoughts on this?
No, because there's really only one side to this thing, and I don't understand why this continues to be a big deal. And the fact that Angel Reese is the one that comes off looking like the idiot in the whole situation
because she's
no matter
an idiot.
What she does, because she is an idiot.
Yeah,
but I'm with Chris. I am with you. I go, why other players see what they have coming in, and it's not just salary wise, but it also includes endorsements and other things that now come with being part of the WNBA that you weren't getting before, because now the viewers and the looks are there on the screen, that other players are getting some of the residual of this. If she's not playing, you don't get those. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And until the WNBA itself as a league says, okay, we're going to knock this crap off now, this is over. And until they actually come out and do that, it's going to continue to be this thing.
Yeah, but
And
I think
I do like
it
the way
brings it brings people to watch, man.
Yeah.
The Fever are playing. They're playing against each other.
Here's the thing, though. Even with, obviously Jarvis isn't a fan, but even with the whole Angel Reese thing versus Caitlin Clark, this is excellent advertisement for the WNBA.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because you may not like what she's doing, and she, again, there's some influence or whatnot says, all right, best of Angel Reese part 36, and it's her throwing up air balls and bricks and layups and 2-footers.
Oh, it's so great.
Shots. But we're talking about it. ESPN's talking about it nonstop. We're bringing up every aspect under the sun of why things are happening, whether it's talent, whether it's race, whether it's this, whether it's that.
Well, and that's the thing too. This is not a race thing. The problem, it would be any different if Caitlin Clark was black. She's good. And I think it all comes down to, and we can make assumptions. Now I'm not going to get caught in that slippery slope, but the fact of the matter is, I do think, and it might be race with Angel Reese, but I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people don't like the other players may have a problem because they're jealous of the attention she gets and how good she is. When actual basketball fans, not the casual fans, are watching those games, they're like, okay, she's good. Because my dad, I'm just going to say, refuses to go and watch girls basketball games. He just doesn't. He says it's not a good brand of basketball. And he's watched men's basketball for years. It's a different brand than girls basketball. And anybody can agree with that just because of the amount of athleticism. And I don't see a bunch of girls going out there and being able to dunk the basketball. So this isn't a sexist thing. Maybe for him it is. But then on top of that, he's watching WNBA. He watched Iowa games. And I'm like, what are you doing? I said, I've never seen you watch women's basketball in my life. He's like, she can play. Like she's fun to watch because he's a fan of basketball.
Yes, and it's not just her shooting. Dude, she passes the ball well, she defends well, she rebounds, she
had a triple-double in her first game. She had 20 points, 11 assists.
Well, did you see some of the comparisons? Like, took her 10 games to get like some of these things that it took girls 400 games to get.
But that's the thing. I mean, when you start seeing some of the, and it's just how it goes. When you have somebody like that, why do you even want to hurt the golden goose? And I think that's something that, instead of saying, why the fans would be throwing out, insults and possible racial things to, at Angel Reese at that game. And maybe they did, which I find extremely inappropriate for anybody to say anything of race, white, black, doesn't matter, of anybody. That I would be more concerned about, hey, here's a memo that we're going to slide you here, or have a meeting that's not written on paper. Don't do that. She's the golden ticket. I don't care if you don't like her. You don't have to like her. We're okay with you not liking her. Just don't do anything that's going to screw this up. Okay? Thanks. And be done with it. And but for me, it is ignorant, because she sits there and has done this literally since they played each other in the national championship game.
Well, the way she acted after when they won.
Yeah.
From that point on, she's been the villain.
Yeah, she made it.
And you gotta think about it. There's always a Superman and a Joker, or whatever.
Yeah, we got it. Yep.
Batman and a Joker.
There you go, man. There you go.
So there's always
It's got to be your bowl.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's always a good and a bad.
Yep.
I mean, you had Jordan and the Pistons.
Right.
There's always a good and a bad. And I don't know. I mean, I think it gets more viewers. I think it does.
You have two sides to root for. I mean, even you go back to Magic and Bird. there were two sides of the country, two sides.
Yeah, but there was a lot of racial sides on that.
But what I'm saying, but that even plays into it.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Of the sides to root for, you got the two coasts, you got again how it's built, the two different programs, the histories, all of that. I mean, and it gives you storyline. Like I said, it's the whole Rocky debate here. And so, I mean, I think that's going forward as much as we hate it because it's taking away from the game itself. It's the news. If it bleeds, it leads, and that's where we're headed. I mean, that's what we're going to continue to talk about.
Man, it's not like the new country song, if good news sold. I mean, it sells. Go ahead, Kevin.
To me, it's an older sibling, younger sibling type of thing because Reese wants this reaction out of Clark and is not getting any reaction out of her. And
she
it
got
is
that
just
foul the other night.
frustrating her.
That
but
foul.
no, what I'm saying,
she
wants that emotion. She wants that emotional reaction for her to go back at her with it, and she's not. And you can just see her starting, like the ears are smoking, and she's fuming like a little sibling who's not getting the attention that she wants.
I mean, Clayton Clark shit's gold. I mean, she just everything she's doing.
Clayton Clark, the alter ego.
You know what I meant,
right?
And
if Caitlin Clark identified as a man, Clayton Clark,
yes,
I could see this as a commercial.
Oh, that's awesome.
Who's this guy who just entered the draft?
Kevin,
it's the new Little Penny.
Yes, they need to bring that out. They need to have a little Clark. That would be great.
Hey, Clayton.
Right.
And you have to make Miss Clark.
Caitlin.
Yeah, I almost said Clayton again. I know.
Why don't you just go with Katie if you have to? I mean, it's better.
I'm just going to call her. I'm just going to call her Miss Clark. And anyway, now you totally took me off my thought.
You're welcome.
I hate you sometimes.
You're welcome.
Most of the time.
Like when you play your varsity team against my JV, I hate you.
That's fine.
Got to win. Hey, no mercies to John Kreese of basketball.
Yeah, right.
Man, I'm about to spit out my Diet Coke.
Okay, so we got a little bit of time here. I guess you want to take a break here soon,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim Jr. Go ahead.
All right. Now, NFL talked about they're going to keep the tush push. Okay, so that news broke today.
You're all about this tush push, aren't you?
So
it's a big deal.
Okay, but you go back to now you teach history of sports, so you can attest to this. Go back to the very beginnings of the history of football, okay, and how every rule was created to alleviate people from getting hurt, breaking bones, and
they
dying.
could clothesline and crap in the early days.
And so I think what NFL's wanting to do, or at least some people are like, hey, we don't want to do this. It's not football. It's not, 21st century football. It's not good for the game. It turns into rugby and not actual American football. Last year when the vote passed, they had hardly any traction. This year they had more traction. So, I mean, I think the vote was still like 21-10 or 22-10, something like that. But they're talking about maybe in another year or two, maybe there's enough.
My argument with it all is if you don't want your quarterback doing it, I mean, teams have athletes that they could put there and push their butt into the end zone,
Right. Yeah. Hey, there's got to be a way to defend it. I mean, you go from, again, wing tee, double tight, this, that, and the other. Now you go to spread. There's got to be a way to defend it. They're the greatest football minds. Coordinate, get better, figure out a way to stop it.
I don't know how I feel about it because I think that there's two schools of thought. Number one, for everything that's done in football, there's always somebody who comes up with the counter, and then for the new fad, and then something else comes in that stops it.
Nothing's come to stop this yet.
Yeah, and the thing that I kind of wonder though is you don't get to do that on defense. You don't get to push guys on defense, but you do get to do it on offense. So you're asking the defense to be at a disadvantage when you're talking about, say, low man always wins. Well, no, Low man doesn't have to win now because he's got somebody getting pushed into him.
I don't know, Chris, if you've been watching the NFL recently, but the defense is always at a disadvantage in football.
I know. I'm just saying that
all the rules
general,
are about
I know. But what I'm
money.
saying is they just have you can't really get leverage when you're taking well you're gonna have the opportunity to block, and you're gonna have the the quarterback who's strong get pushed by the running back or a fullback or hell another lineman back there, and basically thrown into the end zone or pushed into the end zone or pushed forward. I mean, it does kind of become a little bit of a rugby match at that point.
Yeah,
with one side not being able to push back in the same manner.
You don't have a defensive lineman lined up behind a linebacker shoving him into the hole.
Right, and you don't and you can't line up over the center, and you can't do all these things that I think
you can on a regular offensive play. It's only an extra point you can't line over the center.
That's true, but I think what they should do. I was using an example. Is like there's so many rules. That's why I was going through my head.
A lot of rules, yeah.
Like you'd mentioned. I think what they should probably do is say, okay, we're going to allow this, but then we're going to let the defense be able to push on each other within however many, kind of like trying to block a field goal. Yeah, block a field goal where you can't use someone else's leverage. Well, now you can. Let's really change the game. Okay, if you want to do that, then we're going to do this. And then allow that to happen. So now you have to just be smarter. I mean, I'm not saying that they should allow people to jump off of each other to block a field goal. I'm saying it for advantage purposes. It's like find a way to say the defense can counter this, because I think that's the only part I don't like about it is the defense cannot counter in the same manner that the offense is doing here. So, you got 5 yards to jam a wide receiver, and then you got to let him go. So you get 5 yards to do something. Why can't the defense do something in that space that could help? And I don't know enough about football to where I know exactly what would fix this.
Part of it
on the defensive line.
Well, so part of it on the defensive side, and Jason, you've been the D coordinator, so you can tell me when I'm wrong. But the issue becomes is that on most plays, the quarterback isn't necessarily this dual threat quarterback. So you've got your 11 guys versus 10. Okay, the quarterback, depending on the type of quarterback or person, hey, that guy's not going to be a running threat. When you go under and you do this tush push, you can do that, or what you can do is you can run a fake out of it, you run a pass play out of it. You don't necessarily even have to go through from the defensive perspective, the A gaps. You can go over to the B, C gap. And so because of that is why the defense has had a disadvantage on top of the physical component of being able to manipulate the quarterback himself. And so you're not going to be able to put 11 guys on the line of scrimmage or whatever you want to do. You want to bring your secondary down because, okay, then we'll just run a little tight end, have him run a little spot route or a little fade or something like that, fake it, and then there you go.
It's really hard when it's Philadelphia because you got Jalen Hurts, who squats like 450 pounds,
right?
Who is running the ball. And then if you do what I would do, if I'm going to stop the tush push, all my linemen are taking out kneecaps, which I don't even think you can do that in the NFL anymore. I don't even know but that's what you would do. You would submarine. You would get low and you would just chop their legs. Well, I don't know that you can do that. Like I said, in the NFL, I'm sure there's something you could do, but I mean, it's almost impossible to stop.
The Chiefs,
if Philadelphia gets the ball on the 3-yard line, they're freaking scoring.
Yeah, 4-1 or whatever. I mean, the Chiefs, I think it might have been during the Super Bowl, they had their nose tackle or their D tackle, like he was lined up sideways to take up the center, the guard, and the tackle. And again, but you go to Buffalo does it, and then the other teams figured out that, hey, Allen, he's not going, and I'll just say for football terminology, the 0, he's going to go over probably to the 1 or 3 hole. And so they did that a few times and they got stopped because that was their tendency. So, I mean, you can coach it, I guess, as best you can, but again, outside of saying, you know what, we're going to sell out, we're going to put 11 linemen, 11 defensive linemen and linebackers, and we're just going to say that's what we're doing. I don't know. But anyway.
It's indefensible. Break.
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of like falling forward is indefensible. There you go, Jarvis.
Oh, shut up. You are such
you walked into that one, Jarvis.
Yep.
You got pushed into that one.
You got
Ralph the tush.
I got pushed.
You got pushed right into that one.
You saw me smiling.
So
Had
Miller
so many jokes.
wants us to push into some commercials. So we'll take a short break. We'll take a short we'll take a short break, and after we come back, we'll do some hodgepodge of maybe a potpourri.
Hodgepodge.
Yeah, a potluck.
Ball term earlier.
Yeah, a potluck of
potpourri,
topics.
if you will.
A potpourri, the old SNL
Oh my
Jeopardy.
God, go to break, Chris.
All right, so you are watching the Coach's Box. We'll see you in a little bit.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal.
And if you don't have the right auto coverage, this could really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey, Dave, we got another question about energy savings. And this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Half Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling. We've got so much content on there. Gaming. Check it out. Live, not live. We've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
All right, we're back. We're back.
Hey, look at Zach.
Hey, we're back.
Segment 3 of episode 236.
All right, so we'll just kind of go We'll go for however long Chris wants to before he gets tired and wants to go to bed. Since he's got to work tomorrow, Kevin. He's got to work tomorrow. We know.
I'm ready to go to bed right now.
Gosh,
right.
you're man.
In my defense,
Shut up,
I got to go in
Jason.
tomorrow.
You yawn
I'm
on
just
this
putting
show
text
all the
away.
time.
I've only yawned once tonight.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. Usually it's like,
Yeah.
Normally, the last few weeks he's just been watching his TV and
he's laying on the couch and
I've actually been watching the Knicks just whoop Indiana, but
the Knickerbockers.
So here's the first one here. So it came out that possibly that the Buffalo Bills the Buffalo Bills are the next on Hard Knocks. What team or sports program would, in any sport across the board, yes, even soccer for Kevin, I would say Jim, but he's not here. But what team or sports program in any sport would you want a Hard Knocks style documentary on? And go.
I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, wow. Okay.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, everybody's thinking it. You didn't give us any time to prep for these.
No, it wasn't in the notes. It wasn't in the
Wasn't in the
notes.
show
since 3
notes.
PM.
Hold
It
on.
wasn't in the notes.
I got
since
this
3
answer
PM.
because relative to right now, the Toronto Maple Leafs with all the stuff that they have going on now with Mitch Marner and all that other stuff going on.
The Maple Leafs just can't win. And the entire town of Toronto is pissed off every single year, and they probably should win because they've got 4 of the best players in the world, but they can't win. And it's proof that you can't spend that much money on superstars, occupy your cap, and expect to be good. They are the example.
Well, hell, I'll say this. It just when you started that response, it made me think of something else, Chris. A not non-professional, but like one of those Ontario Hockey League teams, type of Hard Knocks with the fans in Canada that in hockey, just to see how that would go.
You mean like the Halifax Highlanders? Remember that movie Goon?
That's what I was thinking.
That movie is so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I don't know, like some team from Saskatoon or something, maybe. I don't know.
Where you play your hockey from? Oh, Saskatoon? Oh, God. Don't really like you there, buddy, but it's okay. I gotta be nice to you, because of Canada and everything. I would have to say I'm gonna pick the basic answer here. I think most people would probably be. I think right now the Cleveland Browns would be a good one. The Lakers I feel like would be a good one because I want to see how ignorant LeBron actually is in real life. Well, or at least in front of a real life camera. I still think he's ignorant. Sorry, Jason.
I hate LeBron. I can't wait till this dumbass retires.
He's never going to retire. He's going to be. He's going to become a cyborg.
He wants to play in the league with his grandkids.
He's got to make sure Brody gets his second contract.
I quit.
He's got 3 more years. He's got 3 more years.
Coach the Lakers.
Ooh, player coach. Nobody can coach better than me, and I know LeBron James would be a great pick. And I'm pulling for LeBron James. LeBron James pulling for LeBron James. Again, legend in his own mind. Freaking, I hate him. I can't stand. Cannot stand
that right there. That made me the GOAT. That right there.
Yeah.
That made me the GOAT.
My patented hook shot.
That made me the GOAT.
Jack,
I put that team on my back. I won that championship, and I felt like that's what made me the GOAT.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up. Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
All right.
God, I can't stand LeBron.
Zach, what's your pick? Yeah, or whatever. Yeah.
I would say, whether you go back to Last Chance U, I'm trying to remember the old the director on the old ESPN docs, like the And One and all of that. This guy put out a lot of stuff, whether it was Sebastian Telfair in high school, a couple other guys in high school. I think it was like Ed Hawk or something like that was the documentary guy. I want to go through, and I know they did this for Bobby Hurley when he was still coaching out in New Jersey. I want to go find one of these stud high school, and I know they did this way back on MTV with the 2-a-days, but give me some like stud high school program, public school, okay, not the IMG Academy.
I want the Cuba City coach then, the old man.
What now?
He retired. What's his name, Chris? You know what I'm talking about?
Who?
Huh?
Talking about Russ Popes.
The
guy is that the same guy from 2-a-days?
That's the guy from 2-a-days, yeah. But I want some
Cuba
like
City basketball.
Oh, Cuba City. Oh, okay. I want some high school football. Like I don't know. Even if it's maybe small school, large school, doesn't matter. But like some historic program, public school program. Again, not the IMGs, the recent IMGs, or where the game stands tall. What's the one out in California? De La Salle. No, not those. I want the public school. This guy or this school has been winning for decades upon decades, and what they do and why they do, and that those types of films, documentaries are just always fascinating to me.
Jerry Pettigrew. Sorry,
that
was his name. Jerry Pettigrew.
Yeah, that's what I love the QB1. I don't know why, whether it was Amazon or whoever.
Dude, QB1 was good. Man. I liked it too.
It's just go ahead.
Talking about these as Friday Night Tykes was
that was great. Yeah, that was great.
Good
down
too.
in San Antonio and Texas and all that. That guy, I think some of those guys are either still in high school or just graduated. I remember the kid that played on the Colts. He was like a 200-meter sprint champion, I think, in one of his high school years. So I don't know, just those high school documentaries are always fascinating to me. I like that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Next question.
So keeping with the themes of documentaries. So have you guys, I don't know if you watched, it just came out, Brett Favre's documentary came out on Netflix. You know, they had the one on Johnny Manziel.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. So they go through obviously from high school to college to pros, his career with the Packers, and then after his retirement, and then his second retirement, and his third retirement. But then the whole point of the show is the fact that he had his issues with Jen Sturger, and then the money issues down in Mississippi. And so do you think, with all the crap that he's gone through, is his reputation tarnished forever? And then is there a documentary from some person, some athlete, some sports figure, who would you want to see? Somebody that hasn't had one yet. Could be, you know what I mean? Like whether it's the Jeter series or the Michael Jordan, like who's
I've
somebody
seen the
that haven't-
Jeter one. Jeter
I
was
know,
cool.
but I'm just saying somebody that they hasn't had one yet.
I think they need to do an Albert Pujols one.
That would be a good one.
I think that would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
See where he, plus he's a Cardinal, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until he went to Anaheim, but
yeah,
that's the sad part of the story.
Uh-huh.
That's the down of that documentary. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
Gavin.
In going in that same thing, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. Something, and I know there may be one coming out.
We
the
do that
Pujols
here.
brothers, the Pujols brothers, or not Pujols, Molina brothers.
That'd be a good one.
The whole family. That'd be a good one to see. I don't know. With the St. Louis history, I wouldn't mind kind of seeing one on Stan Kroenke from the start. Just to
F
see
him.
what area they
F
take.
him. F him. Did you really just say
He just said-
Stan Kroenke?
He said it.
You really just said it.
He
I mean, you want me
Yeah,
to just go like this? You want me to pause?
he just broke his computer. He just broke his computer. He did that. Oh my god.
That just happened.
That just happened.
How did I get
He's not even on there. He's not even on the screen. You can just hear him.
I don't know.
He's in the
You can hear me. Oh,
I can't do anything about it.
I'm back.
Oh my god.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on.
Hey,
Has anybody
I found a new button. If I want to leave, I can still talk, and you can't see me. So you can't see what I'm doing right now.
Hey, watch this. If I can make Jason leave and we can't hear him talk. Can't see how easy that was.
Hey, did anybody check to see if Jim just hit the wrong button? Maybe he's been here.
Maybe Jim's sitting here the whole time, right?
So you guys can't see me right now.
No.
Sweet.
No, but unfortunately we still hear you.
Hey, listen, don't turn the camera back on yet. We don't know what he's doing.
He's probably
okay. Whew, good.
Oh my goodness.
That is so funny. I threw it hit the button, and gone.
And the show has hit a new low.
I tell you,
Ron Rhodes, Bob Gibson would be a good one. That would be a good one.
Now, this would be a short one, but I think it would be cool. Bob Uecker. Okay, Bob Uecker. So just because, I mean, just the personality, all his quips. It would be, like a short 30. I'm sure at some point.
Let's do a Bob Uecker / Mike Shannon together.
There you go. Oh man, I'm sure we'll probably get a Kobe one.
Oh man, that was one I was gonna say. I want to see a real good Kobe Bryant documentary.
Yeah.
I also think, I don't know how exciting it would be, but I feel like the two of them, a Tim Duncan one, because I think you could start his entire career trajectory, especially working something in maybe with the Spurs dynasty. But then Phil Jackson. I really want to see a Phil Jackson documentary, because we all forget
see all the weird stuff
that Phil Jackson was, an NBA champion with the Knicks when he played. He went and coached in the CBA, became an assistant with the Bulls, and then his Bulls career, his Lakers career, when he retired, then he comes back because they sucked. The girlfriend says, "Hey, you need to coach my team," and he's like, "Okay." So he goes back and he coaches. Obviously, that had a lot to do with Kobe wanting Phil back. So I think that'd be really awesome to see, especially after how his documentary was, how his part was in The Last Dance.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Kobe would be good. Tim Duncan, these are all basketball.
I will say this, and I'll tie in what Zach's idea was.
I said pool. Damn it. Wasn't all one
Floyd.
I was talking about myself.
Floyd
Irons.
Yeah, to this like St. Louis area, like a Floyd Irons. Maybe do like Hard Knocks type thing with some of those Floyd Irons Vashon teams.
Yeah.
Of course, that may have pulled the curtain back on some of the shady things that were going on, but
yeah.
I mean, McGuire. You have McGuire and Sosa thing. I mean.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole career instead of just the talking about that
you
year.
mean wait, I was gonna say
maybe even the whole,
but I don't think there was ever time
the whole life,
Would-
because I would be
would-
more interested in the whole life. The
Ooh, even
coaching
better.
and the dad
Barry
and stuff
Bonds?
like that.
Even better.
Barry
Wait.
Bonds would be a good
Even
one.
better. The steroid era. 10-part documentary.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lay
that'd
it
be
all out
awesome.
there. Lay it all out there. Everybody comes clean there, so everybody's happy, and they start putting these guys in the Hall of Fame.
So we're put yes. That's what I was.
We already talked about.
I know
Pete Rose
we
is
have,
not
but
in the
just-
Hall of Fame.
You didn't let me finish.
I'm not going
He's
to, because you're going to say
be.
something crazy. It's no
I
guarantee.
was gonna say
No.
he will be.
No guarantee.
Well, if he doesn't, baseball's stupid.
We've been over this.
We could be over it all you want, Chris Miller.
Yeah.
If he's not in, to hell with baseball.
Okay. I'll remember that.
I'll still watch it.
Jason's hell with baseball. Jason wants to talk baseball. No. You said hell with them. No. He's out. You're out.
All right. So
Next one.
Here's the first part of this.
Come on.
Here's the first. There you go. Yeah. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
So What we
That's
again,
right.
Bringing up Brett Favre and his documentary.
Brett
So
Favre.
Favre. So do you?
Favre.
I want to debate the idea of this hero worship in sports. And in your opinion, you come up with your definition of, because everything's subjective. When does a player cross the line in your book from he was this icon and now he is disgraced? At what point, and maybe use your examples if you think they're, or is it like, oh no, I'm going to separate the man from the athlete. And
So maybe when you're running down the highway in a Ford Bronco, that could maybe.
Wait, why was he doing that, Jason? Let's back up a little bit. Hit rewind. Stab your ex-wife and her boyfriend. That could probably do it right there. Murder.
The glove don't fit. You gotta quit. I mean,
you leave it out in the rain. That's what happens. Go ahead. Anybody else?
I wasn't going to go quite that far. I was going to say, like, I don't know, keep him hostage and make them draft your kid in the second round.
There's still a lot of people who like him, though.
Yeah, it's called his mother.
Man.
I would have to say that if you do something to disgrace your game, obviously committing a heinous crime is going to do it.
So O.J.
because
Simpson was right there.
Well, I mean, murder, alleged, and yeah,
he was acquitted.
Yeah, and then
Aaron
he was
Hernandez
found
was
guilty
not.
in
It
civil
was not
suit.
found guilty. He was just
civil court.
Civil suit. Yeah.
It ruled that he had to pay some civil money. Yes.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Not
There
civil
you go.
money, regular money, because he was guilty.
Because he was guilty.
In the court of law, he was not guilty. He was
Criminal
acquitted.
court.
Yeah, but when it came to paying that money, he was guilty. Oof. But heinous crimes, I think that does it. Something that's egregious to against your sport. I still think that's my only holdup with Pete Rose is the fact that I don't know if he, influenced the game with his betting, and he was tied to organized crime and
You don't know if he
did.
Jonte Portered it.
Well, I mean, I think Jonte's done. Obviously, it is kind of interesting. I mean, a lot of people dislike A-Rod because he did get busted for steroids. Him and Manny Ramirez. But everybody was doing it. But it was after
both of them.
it was after they banned the PED use. So it was kind of like the argument that I heard about that was everybody before it was actually banned that might have done it, probably did it, but we don't know for sure did it, and it wasn't illegal technically at that point. They should be in the Hall of Fame. And then everybody who got busted for it after, that's a different story. Like those two. But a lot of people don't like those guys because of that. And I don't know if that's a factor. I just think it comes down to a heinous
Barry
crime.
Bonds was
and
a Hall of
egregious.
Famer before all that.
Yeah, but he was also an a-hole. And nobody liked him.
I didn't say he wasn't an A.
I'm just saying. You said whatever point you go to, you don't like that player. I was just.
I mean, there's
out
three
there.
guys on this screen that like you, and you're an a-hole. So,
I am.
Ask Zach.
And just like that, I moved Jason out of the show. Oh, no, there he's back. Oh, okay. Sorry, hit a button.
Did it again.
Just hits his own button.
No. I'm just curious. I mean, okay, so you bring up murder. Okay. Leonard Little, Ray Lewis.
Leonard
Ray
Little
Lewis didn't
Leonard
kill
Little.
anybody.
Oh, he didn't?
Manslaughter. That's not murder.
Someone died.
Yeah, it's just like civil money versus regular money.
Monopoly money. It's got to be monopoly.
And Lewis was ruled that he had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
Now Leonard Little was. I'm not going to lie.
Ray Rice?
Well, yeah, don't whip your
Ray Rice
wife
didn't murder
on camera.
anyone.
No, but he beat the piss out of his wife on camera.
Yeah.
If you not watched that video, we have talked about Ray Rice.
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay, so yeah, Ray Rice is done. At that point, Ray Rice is done.
I agree.
What about making jokes about quarterbacks being killed?
Damn it! I knew it was coming.
I think that was the line. Jarvis lost a lot of followers.
When I said my crap about Little, I knew that was coming next. All I said was, no, I'm defending myself here. The dude was out with another chick. His wife was at home, and he was walking on a highway at 3 a.m.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
After midnight.
Bad luck, bro.
Pittsburgh needs a new quarterback. The one they had got killed.
Oh my gosh!
No, he got splattered
all over.
Oh,
dude.
Okay,
we need a new topic. Bring a different one. A new one. A new one.
Nope, I'm not. Nope, I'm not done. You got to admit at the time it was funny.
This is my fault.
No,
we laughed.
He goes from defending.
We laughed.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed. We were like, "Oh my gosh!" We laughed because he said it.
Right, he said it. Okay,
dude,
right,
he was out at 3 a.m. with his mistress.
Matchbox 20 was out at 3 a.m. All right, go ahead, Zach.
It's
All
3 a.m.
Yeah. All right. So you guys kind of answer this in the group chat.
Well, then what the hell?
Because it's for the show. All right.
Nobody reads our stuff.
And Brian, hey, Deering, you can answer. Coach Rhodes,
Deering sucks. He can't answer nothing.
Who do you think right now is the number one sports icon?
Oh, here we go.
Who is the number? No matter the sport. Who again? Most influential, most marketable, followed, whatever. Who is the who? I don't even want to say Michael Jordan. You know, he had his own commercial. I want to be like Mike. All that stuff, right? He is in the stratosphere. But we can't come close to that right now. Who is the number one sports icon? What do you think?
Globally,
Shaq.
it's Messi.
Globally is Messi. Here in this country, I'm saying Shaq. I see Shaq on everything. Shaq's on the freaking pizza box. Shaq is on every remote control.
Because he owns it.
Well, he owns everything apparently because he's on everything.
Not me.
Sorry.
I'm saying Caitlin Clark.
She's right there on that list.
I mean, she has to be. Every time I turn on the TV, Clark's
She's
on
on a
there.
State Farm commercial. What the hell is she doing? Jake for
mean-
State Farm. There's Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
I argue, Ron Rhodes. Patrick Mahomes has kind of died down.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking. Just go back and think in the late '90s. You had or even in the early '90s. Gatorade makes the commercial. He's got his cologne. He's got his brand now.
McDonald's.
Jumpman.
There's no one that could beat Mike.
No.
Well, even outside of that, during some of those time frames, you also had players like Anthony Hardaway and the Little Penny commercials. You had
Think of the McDonald's commercials.
Grandmama.
Oh yeah, Larry Johnson.
Oh yeah,
Larry Johnson.
Grandma was awesome.
And you had Magic
Uncle
and Larry
Larry.
Bird
Magic
with
Larry.
Converse.
Yeah.
And a lot of Converse stuff. But
Yeah.
Mike.
You had
still-
Uncle
he
Drew at
takes
one
the
point.
cake.
Oh yeah.
Michael Jordan takes the cake.
Yeah.
Michael's he's of all time the most marketable.
Even when
If
he
you take
played
him out of
baseball, he was still the most marketable guy,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, I would have said 09 before Tiger. You know, I think
Tiger
but I just
was
think
big.
I think he was number 2. You know, on Mount
that also
Rushmore.
ruins your legacy, by the way. Having your wife beat up the car with
I thought it was that
or
or getting stopped with the mugshot and
I thought maybe it had
caught with
something
a
to do
porn
with-
star.
porn star. That's what I was going to say. The porn star.
I mean, well, the reason that she was
all the
beating
women?
the reason she was beating the car with the golf club was because of all that. So
because he was beaten.
easy. That you might be crossing the line here.
He was beating on the window to get back in the house.
Yeah, he was. Definitely.
Good save. Yeah.
Good save. Real good.
Yeah. I just
I hate
LeBron is the
LeBron.
legend in his own mind.
Okay, do you see LeBron on commercials?
No,
all the
because
time?
No, because he's polarizing.
And you don't have his compare him to Jordan. Jordan had the shoes. LeBron
still does. Yeah,
It does. It's
People
not
are
even the
bragging
shoes.
about wearing LeBrons.
It's not the shoes. The
People
thing
are
about
still-
there's you can't. The only thing you can bring up bad about Jordan like in the public eye is
Gambling?
all the gambling stuff that everybody thought, and you can have the
That's
conspiracy.
being competitive in my
As
opinion.
soon as LeBron James did the decision, it was over. It was over because you polarized half the people who thought that was a good idea, and the other half. And I'm not saying that was an equal half of people who thought that was really stupid, and you're an ass for doing it. And it was all about him, and a lot of people didn't like it. So from then on, after his chase for himself, basically, people stopped being LeBron fans and how he handles himself with the media. And he doesn't do those commercials. He doesn't do those things. It's a lot of self-serving stuff that he does. Whereas Michael Jordan, it was you could play that into his image. You want to be like Mike. You know, I don't want to be like LeBron because then it's like I want to talk about myself.
You could make an argument that John Madden is far more marketable than LeBron James.
1,000%.
Oh,
John Madden, rest his soul, is more marketable. By the way, I want to see that movie. I want to see that movie.
Oh, yes.
Nick Cage is John Madden. Have you seen the pictures of Nick Cage?
I've seen, yes.
Him and Christian Bale is
Christian Bale
Al Davis.
Is Al Davis. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
this game has gotten intriguing. My bad.
Well, thanks for bringing.
You almost got the whole show without Jarvis watching another.
Almost did it.
Almost.
Adderall wore off.
Yep.
I mean,
I just who. Okay, so Kevin says Messi worldwide. You know, you're going to see the billboards. You're going to do this. You're going to. Who is it in the United States? I don't think it's LeBron. I don't. Do we even? Is it a situation where we don't?
I still think it's Jordan.
It's still geographic.
Jordan is still one of the most marketable people. Jason is right in his ranting over there.
If you take Jordan out of it, it might be Caitlin Clark at this very moment.
Yes, but Jordan has to be in it. And
Shaq's not too far behind, guys.
We're not. Nobody's talking about wearing Shaq shoes.
It's not about that. Shaq is in everything.
But
Home Depot.
They're talking about the latest fashion. You're talking about
market is everything. You get these guys doing your commercials. I'm telling you, if that's the case, that's not just the shoes. It's everything.
I agree, but man.
Okay. And at the moment, Shaq is way more visible on a regular basis than Michael Jordan is.
I agree.
Yes, until Michael Jordan starts doing those on NBA on NBC.
I can't wait to watch him do.
I remember playing against that guy. He didn't like it, so I took it personally. Mike, you never played against him. You know what?
I'm going to be honest.
Playing
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm hoping Michael Jordan doesn't ruin his legacy by not being very good at it.
Listen, he can't ruin his legacy at this point. And I meant to say this in our group text. So I'm going to say it on the air. So LeBron has always tried to compare himself to Michael Jordan, and it's not worked because Jordan is the GOAT. He's never lost in the finals. He didn't chase the rings, et cetera, et cetera. The one thing where LeBron had a chance of being better than Jordan was if he helped run a franchise or bought a team. Well, he's already screwed that up because he's already drafted his kid, and he screwed that up worse than the whole Kwame Brown thing. So at this point, there is no shot for LeBron to ever be better than Jordan because that was the one thing he could do was try to help run an organization better, and he screwed that up. So
you don't think he did? You don't think winning in Cleveland and then winning in the bubble?
Absolutely not. No.
Winning in Miami?
No. Kyrie Irving hit that shot. Draymond got a stupid technical.
Running a team. You don't think he was running? He was the puppet master on all that stuff in Cleveland and Miami and the Lakers when they all won at those.
So let me get this straight. He won.
I'm asking.
I'm asking you. In the 8 times that he went to the finals, let's see, how many times did the Spurs beat him?
The Spurs pretty darn good team.
Yeah. So let's see. He got caught up in the middle of the Spurs dynasty. And then he also got caught up in the middle of the Golden State dynasty.
Hey,
there's never been a LeBron dynasty.
Hey, that's another show. Is LeBron the best player in the LeBron era, or is Steph Curry? That's another debatable.
How about the fact that LeBron was the best player in the world during 2 different dynasties and couldn't capitalize? So he's what? Jerry West.
Well, then the NBA logo is going to be LeBron.
No,
soon.
it's still better if it's West because he could dribble a ball.
Fade away.
Just saying.
Yep.
And Jerry West could shoot better than LeBron. Matter of fact, the only thing Jerry West isn't better than LeBron is being athletic. Sorry. Game.
I don't know.
Set,
I think
match.
outside of Jordan, I would take LeBron if I had.
Well, yeah. Are we playing in this era?
If I had no ever. If I had it, well,
Not
I
me.
want Shaq's
Magic,
my player.
Kobe
Shaq's
or
my player.
Shaq?
No, give me LeBron. I don't
Larry
know.
Bird.
God,
Shaq.
If we take Jordan out,
Shaq.
now Shaq, like I said,
He's the
Shaq,
most dominant.
All right, that's another topic for another time.
I know. Anyway.
Another time. We
all right,
could do this.
all our ADDs kicking in. End it,
Yep.
end it, Chris. End it.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody tuning in tonight. We will probably have another show next week. You know, as
Throw
far
the hat,
as
Jason.
we know.
Throw the hat. Throw the hat.
So appreciate everybody tuning in. Good night. God bless. We'll see you guys on so bad.
Deuces.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.